The following is a world-class Bullshitters exclusive.
We start today's journey at Ollie's with an example to show you that just because it's not a toy-related thing doesn't mean that there's not piles of unsellable Disney junk no matter where you go, like that Rise of Skywalker poster. Now, I'm an artist, I have a strong eye, but I don't see a goat, I just see a man there. So, I'm convinced that this Ollie's knew I was coming, because it's the only explanation for Star Wars, The Rock, and Spider-Man to be positioned in a row. Thanks, Ollie's. Thank you. I like the personal touch. But, let's move on. We can look at the books real quick, and let's get to what you guys really want to talk about. Sasquatch. So the books really haven't changed much at Ollie's. I'm trying to read the spines right now as I watch this video, because I was so enamored by the wonderful books they had, like something else. So here's what we want: the toy aisle. And if you noticed, the walls are shrinking on the toy aisle. And what do we have down here? We got BB-8, a Squeeze Me, and a Jack Skellington, both Disney. And what we got here, it's a Black Panther lady, bald head and all. Look at those eyes, look at that face. Look at it, move! Alright, let's just move away from it. So there's more Disney stuff, like I think that's Darth Vader, that's also a disappointment, and a lot more. But Ollie's has been shrinking the toy aisles. Now, it's only at my local Ollie's because I think they want me to stop coming in. But, folks, we have a plan to win this one together. And as you can see right here, we have the Harbingers of Doom. The three characters that Disney thought would make a lot of money, well, they just made a mistake. And I don't really need to go into great detail. That wall of Ahsoka's and that wall of May's and the Bill Burr. Oh, man, Bill Burr. $5. Yeah, I'm still not over that comedy shit. But $9.99 for May? No way. Sorry for rhyming, folks. It's how I deal with the pain. So, folks, if you got kids and you don't want to spend a lot of money, well, you know you can always go to Ollie's. But whatever you do, please do not make your kids suffer through whatever these are. Figures that are so bad that they wouldn't even steal them. They stole the box. They didn't steal the figures. Now, here we are in the figure aisle, and it looks like it's been hit by Tornado Ollie, because this is just a destruction of sales. Or things that people threw on the ground because they didn't care enough to pick them back up. Well, what do you know? But as you can see here, we got stuff from Peter Pan and Wendy. We have stuff that's been here for literal years. We'll keep walking past the stuff that's been here for literal years. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Two jabronis that absolutely deserve to be at Ollie's. You know, Mattel, I'm calling you out. You sell me two wrestlers in one belt? One belt? They were the tag team champions. I only see a belt. This ain't Kane and Daniel Bryan. Bakugan, you dealing drugs? Sorry, I watched too much 21 Jump Street. But there's Reva again. Awesome. So remember, folks, this has been dropped on the ground, thrown on the ground even, and Ollie's themselves doesn't even care. Would some philanthropist come through and buy this all for a penny? Come on, guys. We really need to fix this retail problem. Oh, look, Eternals. Bye. I said bye. That's why I have to do all this myself. I can't get any decent help. Uh-oh. Shuri. A toy so great, the back ripped right in your hand. Good job, Hasbro. Good job. Nash Durango. Cool name, but that's not a face that matches a name like Nash Durango. I should see if Disney has copywritten that name and steal it for myself. You know, when I'm feeling moody, definitely feel like a little T-Rex. Tiny arms and all. And flashing quads. What the fuck? What is this? Oh, it's just a jellyfish. Let's get out of here. One last look at the model kits, like the Corvette. Ooh, what's this Hasbro figure? Oh, nothing. It's just Nerf balls. Balls. Not of steel, but of Nerf. One more pass. One more pass. And look! Crypto Cash, the video game, or the board game. It's all a game, even the real stuff, from what I read online. So let's fly on over to Target, where we discover the reason for the Easter season. Sonic the Hedgehog. No, actually, it's Nintendo plushes as far as the eye can see. I didn't realize plushies were big. You know, in my era, stuffed animals were kind of lame, and nobody really played with them. But I guess kids today are obsessed with plushies. How times have changed. Thank God times haven't changed too much, because I can still find Jake the Snake Roberts on my local Target shelf. That's important. And who else can I get in this line? Nobody of value, including the Build-A-Figure. What a waste. So, let's take a look at another waste in progress. The new Star Wars Lego Smart Play All-in-One Play System reacts to how you move and play. Now, on the surface, this sounds awesome. Lego, Star Wars, sounds, lights, lightsabers, you name it, it's got it, including the Millennium Falcon and a really cool looking Han Solo. But there is one big, massive problem. I had read about it online, but I had to go to multiple stores to make sure it was true, because I'm world class and I don't lie. And listen to the bullshit. That is not a real Star Wars sound effect. That is not a real Star Wars sound effect. This is bullshit. Let's see what the X-Wing does. So there's a Super Nintendo sound chip in this toy. Awesome. Alright, so these things suck. They don't make the sound from the movie. You know, I guess I'm the problem. That I would think that Star Wars, a movie with some of the most recognizable sounds ever, would have toys that feature those sounds. I guess it's too much to ask that the X-Wing I had 30 years ago had the movie sound effects. But you know what? I could bitch all day long about how lame they are, but you know what? They'll eventually not sell. Lego will redo the toys. They'll have ones with movie sound effects so they can resell it, because this is all a big marketing ploy. It's to get you to buy it twice, because once is not enough anymore. Hey, look, a Harry Potter car in different scales. Sweet. For Harry Potter fans, that is. Oh, Galactus. Actually, not Galactus. Look at Mr. Fantastic's giant legs and little boots. I know that's how they do the Lego effect for him stretching, but it looks weird. Ah, Ben Affleck, Batman. You never got the film you deserved, my friend. You never did. So here's the toy aisle proper. And as you can see here, not a lot has changed. Superman is still a strong contender. Spider-Man, $20.99, will be here on shelf still at $20.99. And whoever thought that Cardiac and the Hypno Hustler were going to move figures, well, maybe you should take your head out of your ass. Actually, they were good choices, but too obscure. What'll sell is an 8-bit Sonic and every version of Sonic forever. See, these are the kids' toys. Sadly, those were the collector's toys. And we're going to go look at the collector's toys as we're being bombarded by nostalgic clothing from our childhoods. But my local Target has gotten rid of their sign. There used to be a sign up here that said something about collectibles, and this thing looks again like it was hit by Hurricane Ollie. Except this time, it didn't bring low prices with the Bedlam, it just brought disappointment. I can take that trade-off for Ollie's, but not for Target. Ah, the Funko Pop section. That's exactly what I think of those, just like Ray. So, here we are at another location. Do you know where we are? Can you take a guess? Does the checkered floor ring a bell? If not, welcome to Rosscon, folks! We finally made it to Rosscon, where we have toys as far as the eye can see, which is to the end of the wall. And now, let's start in hot here. We got a Spider-Man and his amazing friends pack, and Doc Ock looks just like Kid Vid. I think Burger King should call and sue. I'm not a lawyer, but I can't tell a difference. Speaking of differences, I can't tell a difference between this or Ollie's because it's a lot of the same stuff over and over again. generic crap that wasn't popular. Or real whatever. You know, folks, if you're going to buy your kids military-based toys, get them something from the Valaverse. At least it's something quality and definitely world-class. Now, we're continuing on. Star Wars. I just love to talk about Star Wars. Launch a day. This isn't the launch day. I think this is a pre-pandemic toy. Could be wrong. Correct me if I am. I think I might be. But it's been a couple years since those launched. Now, this is probably the dumbest toy ever with the greatest box. I don't know what's going on here. Now I do. This is the weirdest, best, lame toy I have ever seen in my entire life. I'm a fan. Alright, so we put that bad boy down, and we pick up Eric B. and Rakim. Again, you know, we can't get Axel Foley, but we can get those rappers. Wonderful. Now, I got LA Knight here, and the rest of the figures. You know, I'm going to be honest. Because of how he was booked lately, I didn't pick this figure up. There's just something about the way WWE's done LA Knight, and I say no. I also say no to Superman at full retail price because as much as I like this movie, you can get a stack of them at Ross Dress for Less. Now, one problem with Ross Dress for Less, folks, is Ross has adapted their pricing structure and they've raised the price. So if you're looking to go to Rosscon for a good deal, prices have gone up. And still you're going to be stuck with crap like this. So we have a fig pin, but that's not what I'm here to look at. I'm here to look at this tiny collectible of a handleless Luke Skywalker with an artifact inside and a tiny poster. Fan drop. See, this is the type of pop culture collectible that sucks. Fig pin, Ahsoka figure. Come on now, these are impulse buys. We're supposed to get people to want to buy stuff on the way out, not put garbage at the front door. It's bad for business, Ross. So we are back at Ollie's. I'm so excited I had to take a double take to realize what the heck I was looking at. Tie Squish 2s. I'm not into this stuff. I don't need a unicorn plushie bigger than an Alaskan Malamute, but it's here at Ollie's, and out of curiosity, I was trying to find what this disco-hoofed behemoth cost, but I couldn't find a price tag, because for $5, even I was going to buy something that stupid, but Ollie's didn't have the price tag, so I didn't buy it. Star Wars, from the new film The Force Awakens. Nope, it's not that time anymore. So what other Disney products are we about to see? Well, if you want a good laugh, you come over to the teen fiction section where you can find such classics as The Mandalorian, colorful, small but mighty. Folks, long story short, if you have kids that like The Mandalorian and or Grogu, don't be duped into buying them the new stuff. The old stuff is the same merchandise in a new package because they didn't change the designs. The Principal Strikes Back and Star Wars Rebels. I think I was still in college when this book was published. It was like 12 years ago. Black, a cultural. I didn't quite see that title, but it looks like Black Panther. These are still here. Who'd have thought that Bible comic books wouldn't sell in the modern age? Whew. Who'd have thought that Bible comic books would sell in general? I guess the old people at EC did, but that was the 1930s. I better get ready for the new He-Man movie because I'm such... Actually, I like He-Man. He's pretty cool. But, ooh, movie He-Man. All right, maybe I will read this. Masters of the Multiverse. I've been kind of burned on multiverses. Let's go to the toy aisle, where I've never been burned. Yeah, look, I'm not the one taking the loss. I'm not the one stuck with a dozen holders. I'm not the one stuck with 500 Shurikopters or 1,000 disc launchers that say Eternals on them. I'm just the guy that breezes through and laughs at all the bad decisions that Disney made. Remember, folks, a bad movie goes away. This is a physical item. This will sit here forever and ever and ever and ever. And we will laugh, because we do, each and every time. No matter how much this Ollie's tries to shrink their toy collection to get me to stop coming in, well, you're not selling any of the crap at all. Like Black Panther and X-Men and Return to the Jedi B-Wings. Maybe you should just stop buying everything. So here's another shop called Home Buys, the best for less. Let's see if they actually live up to their name. Dog food, decent. Random stuff, decent. More random stuff, decent. Wait a sec. It was the Hulk! I knew it! Folks, you know, there's unsellable Disney crap everywhere a junk store is. And as you can see, this store is barely held together by duct tape, but it's got a lot of Disney merchandise busting at the seams. So, want to dress up like a young Jedi? Hey, be a young Jedi. Want a Star Wars poppet? Don't know what the hell they are, but of course your kids are going to love it, just like Izzy Hawthorne, not Buzz Lightyear. Great. Now, they have these Shang-Chi figures here, but at this store, they're $7. Yes, these are the exact figures that Ollie's couldn't give away for $1, but they're $7 just down the road. What a great deal, said no one ever. Hey, Mandalorian itty bitty Bluetooth speaker. That's a pretty big speaker. Not gonna buy it. Now there was this whole toy wall here in the back, and it was filled with bendable figures. Yes, folks, bendable figures are back because they are always trying to license something cheaper. So, we get an ugly figure, but it says Game of Thrones on it, so it's officially branded. But look at those eyes. Look at those eyebrows. Look at... Okay, that one looks a little better because it doesn't look like Amelia Clark. But these are just, okay, figures that no one really requested. Bendables were the figures that I had as a kid that I played with before they made better articulated Spider-Man figures. But we live in an age where you can get a better Dr. McCoy, or you can get a better Uhura, or we can go up further and get War for Picard. You know what? I don't want these characters. I want Captain Kirk and I want Spock. He's not in this wave. Let's look closer. There we go. Bones. So the only two figures in this wave that sold out were Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock. I know merchandise would get boring if they made the same stuff over and over again. Maybe focus on the popular stuff. Speaking of popular, apparently it was a popular idea to print 1 million of these from the new film Star Wars The Force Awakens book in theaters September or December. It's 11 years later. The movie's dead. The franchise is dead. All we have are remnants of the crap that didn't sell. This paint has gone bad, Charlie Murphy. It is dust. It is no more. It ceases to be. If you were to buy a kid these books that say add water to color, it ain't gonna work. This paint is so old, King Tut was using it back in the day. It's BS. Nobody wants this crap. Ooh, Legos. Let's take a look. Mario Legos expansion set. You know, I thought this Lego set was kind of dumb, trying to incorporate electronics into Legos. And well, seems like we're doing it all over again. So folks, thank you for watching. I meant to put this shout out at the beginning of the video, but a very special shout out to the channel The Real Fake Wizard for mentioning WCBS in one of his more recent videos about Disney. I checked out the channel, it is definitely world class, and shout out to The Real Fake Wizard. If you like what we're doing, man, I like what you're doing, let's have a crossover. I'll shoot you a message and we'll make something happen in the future for the fans because they're world class and they get nothing but the best. But folks, thank you for joining me. I am currently in Lexington, Kentucky. Why am I telling you this? Because I'm at the Comic and Toy Show. Come out, hang out, get a Sherry Copter, get a book. It's the only place you can get stuff autographed by me in person. I don't charge in person. So folks, come all the way down to Lexington, hang out, get a toy, and well, do these things. Be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other.